One more thing. Back when I was saying the different ways that this word to keep can be translated, I mentioned to watch, and I also said it can be translated preserve. And I think that's an important nuance to note too. To preserve, God preserves us. Maybe the act of sharing our pain is actually something that preserves us. It gives us strength and hope. It helps us keep going. It helps us to see our truth and to touch our courage. And maybe listening to the suffering of others is something that preserves us too. It preserves our empathy, our heart, our courage. It preserves our capacity to connect and our willingness to be humble before what we can't make sense of. It preserves our humanity. My friend who mentioned the problem of evil last week, he talked about how often collectively as a society we look away from people's suffering. It's hard to see, it's hard to bear. To look at it, to really see it, that's part of what calls us to the hard work of acting and responding and changing, of seeking justice for one another. But along with preserving us, along with how listening preserves us and along with how sharing preserves us, our not turning away from other people's pain is also something that just might preserve them. It might be the thing that preserves their hope in humanity, their faith that people care. It might be the thing that preserves their belief in their dignity when so many other forces might work against that and get in the way of it. It might be the thing that preserves their joy alongside their loss and their grief. It might even be the thing that preserves their faith in God. Seeing each other and not turning away, that's something that preserves our collective well-being, whichever circle that we are in a given moment. So friends, please keep doing that. Don't turn away, whichever circle you're in. We can rest not because God prevents us from suffering, but we can rest because we belong to God no matter what. God watches and preserves and keeps us. And one way that that happens concretely is that God gives us to each other to watch out for each other and show up for each other, to circle together, sometimes to the right and sometimes to the left. I thank God for that.